Hey, yo, man, this the podcast with Soul. Nigga got that motherfucking Fed look.
I said astigmatism in my soul.
Life is like a movie and we in it and we in it. We on Major League and we did it and we did it. It's all about that action, keep it moving, keep it moving. Pursue your dreams, that's how you do it. Yeah. Life is like a movie and we in it and we in it. We on Major League and we did it and we did it. It's all about that action, keep it moving, keep it moving.
Yeah.
Pursue your dreams, that's how you do it. Yeah. It's all starts with a statement. Next step is visualization. Step 3, continue affirmations. Accompanied by faith, all based in action, moving in direction of the damn thing. Don't let nothing get in your way, doing the damn thing. When it seems like all is failed, keep your mind focused, moving.
Donnie Williams, Melvin Zamora, iMac Music, Ola Khan.
So many failures, why should I keep going? I got vision, therefore I see it finish. Only way to do that is to see the finish. If you got a plan, put your all in it. Life's an obstacle course, put your all in it. Across the line, yeah, we all finish. Choose a place, all that matters is
What's up, everybody, man? What's going on with y'all, man? Shout out to the whole world. Let me put this up in here. Pin that up at the top. Follow me on my Instagram. My Instagram is pinned up at the top. What's up, y'all? Everybody here? What's going on with y'all, man? What's happening? Everybody here? All right, here we go. Now we rolling. What's happening, man? Thursday night, March the 9th, 2023, 8:44 in the PM. I was just sitting here. Hold on, y'all. Let me open up one of these windows. Hold on, man. It's a little hot in there. Hold on a second.
life is like a movie and we in it and we in it. We on Major League and we did it and we did it. It's all about that action, keep it moving, keep it moving. Pursue your dreams, that's how you do it. Yeah. Life is like a movie and we in it and we in it. We on Major League and we did it and we did it. It's all about
That action, keep it moving, keep it moving. Pursue your dreams, that's how you do it. All right, y'all, we back, man. We here, we live. What's going on? Talk to me, man. Thursday night, I'm chilling. Melvin Zamora, thank you, man, for that super chat. Thanks for all the advice and wisdom you give. I appreciate you, Melvin. Thank you, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on my Instagram. I pinned that link at the top of the live chat. Let me put it down here one more time. I put a lot of good stuff up on my Instagram. John Pete updates on Russia and Ukraine. What's up, Vaughn? What's up, Sean? What's your first step to move out here? Rent is higher than the minimum wage. It's wrecked. What's your advice? Well, you got to get another job. Carmichael, what's up? I see you, man. Shout out to all the members. The members come in, they got the green name. If you want to join the channel membership, excuse me. Let me see if I can find that link for y'all. I got that link here somewhere. Channel membership. Copy. All right, cancel. Let me come back. There's the channel membership right there, man. Let me put that at the top. My Instagram is up on the upper third. Replace pinned message. The last that I've read on, well, let me answer my man's question. What's your first step to move out here? Rent is higher than the minimum wage. It's reeked. What's your advice? You got to get another job. You got to get 2 jobs. And maybe you don't rent an apartment on the first go round. Maybe you just rent a room. or you rent a studio apartment. You know, you trying to move out. You're not trying to move into some super fly 2-bedroom apartment in a upscale apartment complex. That's the sucker move. The real player move is to move out and get you a room, get you a studio where you got your own bathroom, your own little kitchen, your own little refrigerator, and you sleep in the middle of the room. And everything is there. Your TV, you got one room, a one-room studio. And you stay there, you get a second job, and you keep on coming. Ola Khan out of Wale. I was listening to Aretha Franklin, Ever Changing Time earlier. She do kind of look like your mom, Aretha Franklin. Shout out to my man, Ola Khan. Yeah, man. When I moved back up here from Atlanta, when my mother had moved from Jersey to Georgia, after I graduated from college in Atlanta, I moved back to Jersey. I didn't want to stay in Georgia. I didn't want to live in Atlanta. I came back. I had nowhere to stay. I've told this story before, and I went and got a room at the YMCA for $85 a week. And it was just a room. I had no stove. I had no refrigerator. I had no nothing. All I had was a bed and a window and a little small closet and a door to go in and out. That was it. And what I did was I ate out every day. I think I went and got me a job at Kentucky Fried Chicken so I could get me something to eat every night, free. This was after I had got my college degree too. I was in, how old was I? This was like 1994, 95. I was about 24, 25 years old. And I stayed at the YMCA. The YMCA in Passaic, New Jersey. It was homeless people there, mentally ill people, drug addicts. It was like, it wasn't, it was on the edge. And, but I had nowhere to go. And it was better than sleeping in the car. And it was something I could afford. So I stayed there for like maybe 5 or 6 months and saved up enough money to go get me a studio apartment on the 3rd floor in an attic. And when I got in that attic apartment, I had a bedroom, a little small living room, and a small stand-up shower. And it was up in the attic, so the roof went like that. So I had to bend over in certain spots to even stand up. I couldn't even stand up straight. Omari T, what up? Rod D, what up? Roland Lee. So I had to do that, right? So then I stayed in that studio apartment. I stayed in that 1-bedroom apartment in the attic. I stayed there for like 5 or 6 years. I launched my business from there. And then I moved to a nicer 1-bedroom apartment in Lodi, and I stayed there for like 2 or 3 years, and then I downgraded again. I moved over to Jersey City. Somebody was moving out, and I got their apartment. It was real cheap, but it was roach infested. It was in Jersey City. It was in a sketchy neighborhood, dirty building. But I had a plan. I stayed in there for like, how long I stayed there? For maybe like a year or two. And I saved up my money, and then I bought a house. My next move, so I went from homeless to YMCA to 1-bedroom studio apartment in an attic to a nice 1-bedroom apartment, back down to a roach-infested studio. All it had was a refrigerator, stove. I took the stove out of the apartment. When I first moved in, the stove had so many roaches, and it was like a big ball of roaches. They were crawling around each other. I disconnected the gas. I pulled the fucking stove. I put it in this hallway. So I was living in an apartment with no stove. No stove. Dirty, I stayed there for a few months, saved my money, and then my next step from that was I bought my own house, a 2-family house in Jersey City. So, got to do what you can. John P said updates on Russia and Ukraine. Russia, from what I've read, I don't know. I don't got boots on the ground. All I can really go on is reports that I'm getting off of this particular website that I go on called Zero Hedge, and it's hard to. A lot of it's propaganda. You got American propaganda. You got Russian propaganda. Everybody's trying to, you know, who knows what's going on. But from what I read, Russia just captured um, another city in the Donetsk, which is a part of Ukraine that had a primarily Russian-speaking population that was under attack by the Russian government prior to the start of this war. So, um, from what I'm reading, the Ukrainians are running out of ammunition. That it's taking them longer to get ammunition, and you know, I don't know, you know, but my man is putting up. My man is putting up some serious resistance. I was talking to a buddy of mine about this today. You know, my preference would be to just chill, right? Just chill. Let the Ukrainians live. Let the Russians live. Let Americans live. Let everybody live, right? But human beings over the course of history and the course of time have always gone to war. The strong has always intimidated the weak. The strong is always over. The strong has always dominated the weak. Um, Whether it was, people of the same ancestry, the same race, or people of different races, different of the same religion or different religions, it didn't matter. It's just human nature. So, that's what I got. That's what I got. A lot of tension from what I'm reading with China now. Um, they both flying warplanes over Taiwan, and so it's a lot going on, man. Hey, man, I'm about to get fired from my job. How can I either keep it or make my own business to do website? That's up to you. You know, hey Sean, why do you type in caps? I don't know. I just always do. Favorite park to work out in tri-state area? I don't know. I go to all the parks. I like to just go to a park, and I like for it to be real hot and the park be full. Everybody got their shirt off, and I'm just out there getting the vitamin D, and I'm training, and you know everybody's sizing everybody up, and there's a very loud and vocal but very silent competition going on, and that's the park. That's how I like to work out, and you can find that in pretty much any park in New Jersey and New York in the summertime. You still invest in treasury bills. When have you ever heard me say I invest in treasury bills? You never heard me say that. Who you got winning the Players Championship? I don't watch golf. Jersey's about 50 something degrees. Omari T, what's up? Roland Lee, what's up? So it's a real serious situation, you know. Um, I really don't see how America's going to be able to fight a war on two fronts because they're pretty much fighting Russia. It's pretty much America against Russia. The other countries, the countries in Europe, Germany, France, they really don't, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, they really are not wholehearted into this war with Russia because they know they live right there with Russia, right? They're right across the street. America is 5 towns away and is using another smaller town to fight Russia, but is not close to where it can be touched. I mean, it can be touched. Russia's got weapons that can touch it, and America's got weapons that can touch Russia. Hopefully, neither one of them get to the point to where they do that because that'd be catastrophic. You know, especially for me living right here in New York, because this is going to be the first spot they hit. But a lot of those countries in Europe, Hungary is not with it under no kind of way. Hungary has not sent no weapons to Ukraine, and they're a part of NATO and they're a part of the EU. They're like, nah, we're not getting involved in that. We cool with Moscow. Um, who else? Turkey is a part of NATO. I don't think they've sent any weapons to Ukraine. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you know different. But like Germany and France, they're like having their arms twisted by America to send weaponry to Ukraine. They really don't want to because they know, you know, it's just not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? There's a better way. I think they feel there's a better way that this can be handled. Sean, besides exercising, what do you do for peace of mind? I just chill, have sex with women. Quadrex, what up? That was quite the journey for you. Thanks for the advice. What was your mental construct while staying in the roaches infected apartment to keep going? What do you mean? What was my mental construct? I had to find somewhere to fucking live. What are you talking about? I had nowhere to go. I had a plan. I cleaned up the place after I moved in, and I think I slept in there the first night. Some roaches crawled on me and shit while I was sleeping. Then I got up the next day, and I think I cleaned that place top to bottom with bleach, and I just cleaned it. And then I stayed there. While I was there, did I have a refrigerator there? Yeah, I had a refrigerator there. While I was there, you know, the roaches was because other people in the building were nasty, or the people that I moved in, the people that left that I moved in their place, they were nasty. I'm not a nasty nigga. This is my apartment here. I don't have no roaches in my apartment. I'm clean. I wasn't raised that way. I'm not dirty. There's mice that run through this apartment where I live right here, but they ain't because of me. They were doing that before I got here. My neighbors already told me, this apartment complex has been built 30, 40 years. So, and then there's a body of water right here in the back. So, animals like to be near water. So they got all kind of crazy tunnels. And all of my neighbors around here say they got mice problems coming around November, December when it gets cold. The mice want to come inside. So, but you know what I'm saying? I got to live. I don't care nothing about that. How was my time visiting Brazil? Brazil was dope. Brazil was dope. I went to Rio de Janeiro. I stayed in Brazil, I think, for 10 days. I went to Rio. I went to Copacabana Beach, Empanema Beach. I went up to Sugarloaf. I walked around Rio de Janeiro, Then I caught a flight up to Bahia, Brazil, Bahia, Pelourinho, and that was really really dope. You know, Rio is more of a major city, you know, but when you get out of the major city and go up into Brazil, you're gonna get more into the Brazilian culture, and that was cool going up to um, going up to Pelourinho. I saw the slave dungeons up there, and in Bahia, that's where most of the black Brazilians are. Most of the brown black Brazilians. That's where most of the slaves from Africa went. More African slaves during the slave trade went to Brazil than any other place. Brazil got the most. Brazil was dope though. Are you back with Sean's mother or are you sleeping with random women? What kind of question is that, man? Content always real, bro. Been watching for a while now. Keep doing your stuff. Somebody got their message deleted by Rod D. I'm currently working two jobs to buy me a two-family, rent one side and live in the other. Okay, cool. It's not a bad strategy. That's a good strategy. Jack Clark, hey Sean, would you consider doing another book? Stigmatism in My Soul, 1 and 2 was life changing. I'm on book 3. Love the journal format. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. I'm actually working on should I tell y'all? Should I share with y'all where that paper at? Should I tell y'all what I'm working on? Should I spill the beans? All right, let me tell you. So you hear from me first. I'm working on an album. I'm gonna put an album out. I bought some beats from a young brother up here in Jersey. Well, I gave him a down payment on the beats. I got a list of the beats right here, list of the songs right there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna speak. I don't rap, I don't sing, but I speak. I'm an orator, right? I have excellent oratory skills, so I'm gonna speak over the music. And I'm gonna put it out, and I'm gonna put an album. I'm gonna put an album. Uh, I'm gonna put an album out, man. So I'm working on that. I think it's gonna be interesting. You know, beats are dope, and I'm gonna be speaking about different topics. You know how I come on here and I talk about stuff. So I'll play the beat, and then I'm gonna speak over the beat. So I'm gonna be selling those on my website. I got to get everything set up first. I got to register the songs with ASCAP and BMI Publishing. Make sure I tighten up the paperwork so that I own the music, own the songs, own the publishing, and I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna be looking to put the single out soon, man. What did Fallon World say? Somebody knocking them out the box. Sean, do you think the shelter system is a scam? What about the shelter system? I've never been in the shelter system. I don't know anything about the shelter system. So that's the next project I'm working on. We're gonna keep this thing going and keep on moving. Spoke to the lawyer, my mother's estate. All of the, I think the estate's been wrapped up. All the property's been sold, and so that should be coming to a conclusion. Me and Lil Sean are going to be getting some money from that. You know, those of y'all that know the story, you know what happened. What are my views on nutrition? Nutrition is very important, man. Nutrition of the soul, nutrition of the mind. I think if you got the nutrition of the soul, it's probably the most important, because if your soul is full of good nutrients, then that's going to carry over to your mind being full of good ingredients and good nutrients. And then obviously the last part would be the physical. Because if the soul and mind are enriched with high quality nutrients, then you're not going to want to do nothing but put good nutrients into your body. That's it. Shout out to Ale Khan out of Wale, man. Shout out to everybody for the super chat, Melvin Zamore. Appreciate y'all, man. So that's what's going on, man. We chilling. Hey, yo, man, this the podcast with Soul. I might try to get in. I might see what's up with the real estate game. I don't know. It's so scary now. You know, it's real estate with the layoffs and the economy crashing. People, you know, you rent property, you buy property, you rent it out. People lose their job, then you on the hook. I never had my CPA. I never was a CPA. I took the CPA exam twice. I took the CPA exam in 1990. I graduated Morris Brown in 93. I took the CPA exam in 93. And then I think I took it again in 1994. I didn't study neither time, so I failed it both times. But I never wanted to be a CPA, you know, sitting behind a desk just crunching numbers and counting numbers all day. I worked at a company where the accountants, all they did was just sit in their office with piles of paper, and I didn't want to do that. Looking into a computer screen. I really wanted to work on Wall Street. That was really my dream. How do you deal with anger and resentment from people that wronged you? I hold grudges. I'm a grudge holder. I never forget what you did to me. I never forget. I hold grudges forever. I'm a Pisces. I don't never forget what you did. I don't let it interfere with my life, but I never forget what you did. I never give you another chance to do it to me again. And I always have in my mind that I'm going to get you back.
Life is like a movie and we in it and we in it. We all made the league and we did it and we did it. It's all about that action, keep it moving, pursue your dream.
What was your opinion on Freemasonry? They do a lot of good charity, like helping out with hospitals and just overly doing good for the community, making the good men better. I don't know much about Freemasonry. Never wanted to be a Freemason, never wanted to be a Mason. I don't know anything about that. Explain to us if pork and chitterlings is high quality nutrition. Peace, Sean. Do still any promotions, OG? I want to send you some merch from my vending machine business, beloved. All right, send me an email. The podcast was sold at gmail.com. Explain to us if pork and chitlins. It's not pork and chitlins, man. It's pork chitlins. Chitlins is pork, man. Pork is chitlins, man. Well, you tell me, man. You tell me if it's high quality nutrition, man. The foundational Black American been eating pork going back hundreds of years, huh? The foundational Black American, the human being with the best genetics on the planet. What human being? Let me ask y'all a question. What other race, Black, Asian, African, anywhere in the world, of all the 8 billion people on the planet, who got the best genetics out of everybody? Answer that question. Somebody answer that question. My man Errol says, what's your favorite meal? My favorite meal is collard greens. I probably collard greens with some smoked neck bones. I like grits, eggs, and bacon, or grits, eggs, and sausage. That's another one of my favorites. But if I had to pick a favorite, probably be collard greens. Nobody in the world has the genetics of the foundational Black American. Nobody. We got the best physiques. We got the best looking bodies. We're the most athletic. Nobody. Not even the Africans. 2 billion people in Africa. The foundational Black American slave was bred like animals. We were bred like you breed a game dog. Shout out to my nigga RH. You know how you breed pit bulls and you breed horses? How they breed horses in Lexington, Kentucky? They take a horse that's won the Kentucky Derby. He's won the crown. What are the 4 races in horse racing? The Triple Crown. He's won the Kentucky Derby. They take a horse that's winning all the races, and the guy that owns that horse, you know what he does? He sells the sex from that horse to other dudes that got female horses. They pay him to bring his horse and put him in the stall with 5 or 6 females. He impregnates all of those females, and out of them 5 females, one of those other horses are going to be just as good as him or better. It's called breeding, selective breeding. And that is what was done to the foundational Black American during slavery. So the slave master would breed the biggest, the strongest, the most genetically superior cock diesel male with a big bone female, healthy female, and what you produce is a high level, genetically superior baby that grows up with all of the genetics of the mother and the father, and the process keeps repeating. And that's why nobody can beat the foundational Black American at playing anything athletic. Nothing. Nothing. And it just ain't me being um, biased because I am a foundational Black American, but you just look at history. Look at history. We own all the records in football. We own all the records in baseball. The home run king is Hank Aaron. The most stolen bases, Ricky Henderson. The greatest pitcher, Satchel Paige. You know, the greatest home run hitter, maybe even Josh Gibson from the Negro Leagues. Basketball, forget about it. You know, nothing that we play. So the point is, and we ate pork throughout this whole process. You go into the South, most Black families had pigs in the back. When I used to go down south by my mother's mother, my grandmother, we had a pig pen. They called it a hog pen. We had hogs down there. And when the summer was over, my uncle would hit the hog on the head with the axe. They shoot him in the head with a 22, hit him on the head with the axe. You string him up, kill him, and then you cut him up, and then you put him in the freezer so you have food to eat during the winter. This was during the 70s. A lot of y'all may not know nothing about that. What are my what are your top three favorite books of all time? Probably The Count of Monte Cristo, um, The Life and Times of Jesse Livermore, The Kabbalion. I got a bunch. The Kabbalion. I see you, John Tibet, quoting the Kabbalion. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. Yes, it does. I remember Jimmy the Greek got canceled in the 80s and 90s for what you're saying. Yes, he did. But they have too many good attributes. When you was young traveler, whilst you made WHST, what made you choose to visit historical countries opposed to recreational destinations? I'm fascinated and curious to know. I always wanted to go to Africa. I always wanted to go to Egypt. I'm not into, going to the Dominican Republic or going to Cancun or none of these. That doesn't interest me. That doesn't interest me. I'm not that kind of dude. You know what I'm saying? I like to go to expand my mind. I'm a scholar. I'm not into playing. I don't got to go to the Dominican Republic to buy pussy. I get enough pussy here, in my regular life. A lot of dudes go down there. That's their main thing. I'm going to go buy some because they don't get none here. What's one thing you would do different if you knew back then what you know right now? I would have started a business earlier. I would have started a business earlier. I might have went to college. I probably would have went to college, but right out of college, I would have started a business instead of going to work. The love or my life left me for another man. What did I do wrong? Speak on being secured party creditor. Ethiopia is the most beautiful place on earth. all y'all talk bad about pork. You just followers. You guys are followers. A lot of foundational Black Americans um, convert to Islam because of their hatred of Christianity and the fact that Christianity shows a white Jesus, right? So they're so ashamed. I'm speaking about foundational Black Americans, maybe not all, but I'm one, and I've lived a little while so I can see. A lot of foundational Black Americans are ashamed of their slave past. They're ashamed of their history. They're ashamed of their culture, and they haven't. A lot of them haven't been able to psychologically um, get over what was done to foundational Black Americans, even though it wasn't done to them, even though it was 200 years ago or whatever, 100 years ago or 150 years ago, 300 years ago. They still can't get over it in today, right? So what they do is they because we were all given Christianity growing up. My mother took me to church, and I used to sit in church and I used to see, you know what I'm saying? When I was young, I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? And but when I got older, I was, I went to Morris Brown, I went to historically Black college, and I met a lot of conscious brothers down there, and they used to be like, well, why is Jesus white? Why is everybody in the Bible white? How could they? And it sparked me to thinking, like, yeah, why is that, right? So um, if all of this took place in Egypt, a lot of the big part of the Bible, big part of these religious books took place in Egypt. Egypt is in Africa. There was no European type people in Egypt during this time. There was no modern day, the modern day Egyptian, which is an Arab, he wasn't there. When we're talking about this time period, these were all Africoid type people. Egypt is on the continent of Africa. So what foundational Black Americans do, because of the shame and the low self-esteem that's passed down to us genetically and psychologically and verbally with the talk, right, and the actions, they abandon and run from Christianity, and they run to adopt another religion because they don't want to be without a religion because they feel like they need one, so they run to Islam, right? And to be Muslim, you can't eat pork. So, but a lot of them run over there, just following, right? Just following the crowd, right? A lot of dudes go to jail and they pick up the Bible and they go in. I saw a lot of dudes in federal prison. They go into jail. They pick up the Bible. Now he's doing classes. He becomes a clergy on the compound. On every Wednesday night, he has a classroom down in the rec department, the education department, and the classroom is full to hear this dude come speak about the Bible. He finds religion when he's in prison. A lot of dudes do that too with Islam, right? A lot of dudes go into prison and for protection. They don't want to join a gang, or the Muslims are real deep in United States prisons, so they join. They become Muslim while they in the joint. They get a prayer rug. They you know what I'm saying. They make a salat every day. You know what I'm saying. They recognizing Ramadan. They walking around with their Quran, their prayer rug, their kufi. They eating right. Just to be accepted in the joint. You understand what I'm saying? But when they come home, and same thing with the Christian dudes, same thing with the Muslim, all of them, whatever religion, when they come home and they get a taste of Chipotle with a Coke, large Coke with ice, and then they go to McDonald's and get them the Whopper with cheese, with the fries, with the salt on them, with the you know what I'm saying, with a tall orange soda. And then they get the phone, and then they get with a honey and get them some kitty cat. You understand? Now he can't find his Bible no more. He don't go to church no more. And my man can't find his prayer rug no more. You understand? And he ain't making salat 5 times a day. He's not getting up at the crack of dawn making, So a lot of these people be false in their professed allegiance to a particular religion, right? So that's what a lot of foundational Black Americans do. They run from their true selves and their true history because they're ashamed of it, and they run to somewhere else, right? But they don't know what they don't know. They have no intention on going to Mecca and making the Hajj. They have no intention of none of that. As soon as they get out and get back into society, they trying to fly to the Dominican Republic so they can go down there and have a freak show for a weekend. You understand? But what they don't understand and what I've seen and what I've been told is that a lot of the Muslim countries like Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Syria, a lot of the Muslim countries from that part of the world, when Black Muslims go there, they are still treated, they get the menial jobs and they're treated based on their skin color. They care nothing about them being no Muslim. So what they running from in America, they find, or wherever they are, they find when they run over to the part of the world where the majority of the Muslims are, they get the same treatment. So niggas running from themselves. Foundational Black Americans hate themselves. They have a deep self-hatred for themselves. So they always looking for a friend. They always looking for a friend instead of looking in the mirror for a friend. That's why I rub so many people the wrong way, or people get the wrong impression about me, about my arrogance and my conceit. Because I'm better than everybody. All 8 billion of y'all. I don't need a friend. I don't need to be, a part of a group. You understand? I stand on my square. You understand? My culture is the foundational Black American culture from the United States of America. Soul Train, Sanford and Son, Good Times, the Jeffersons, the Jackson Five, Aretha Franklin, Al Green, Johnny Taylor, James Brown. You understand? This is my culture. Collard greens with fat back in it. You understand? Black eyed peas and butter beans, string beans, rice and gravy, pork chops, grits, eggs, and bacon, hog maws and chitlins. This is where I feel most comfortable. You understand? So that's me. You know what I'm saying? That's me. You understand? Now, I've never been to Germany, Carlton. I see you, man. Carlos Ortiz, un señor de la palabra. Nah, I've never been to Arkansas. But that's another culture doing the same thing to them that the American culture has always done to them. It's not at all the religion doing that to them. So that's what it is, man. You got to be true to you. You got to be true to you. Look at how good I look. I'm 54. I'll be 54 Saturday in 2 days. I've been eating pork my whole life. Look at my skin. Look at my body when you see me work out. I'm doing 10 sets of 10. I'm watching all these other fake YouTubers and these fake Instagram dudes that are on supplements. Niggas is on supplements, man. They edit in their videos. They can't do a full workout of 10 sets of 10. You understand? They edit in their videos. They pulling up in a foreign car, jumping out with music, doing a couple reps and all this and that. You understand? Calling it a prison workout. Knock it off. Every time you see me hit the bar on my other channel, I'm giving you 10 sets of 10 live. No editing. Some of y'all can't do 10 sets of 10. Huh? I'm knocking down women younger than me. I'm knocking down women younger than me in their 30s. Yeah, in their 40s. Yeah, attracted to me. You understand? So it ain't about what food you eat. Get off of that. Stop being a follower. You a follower. You weak. You living up to non-existent virtues. You living up to non-existent virtues. My mother took me to church. How I got introduced to the Christian church, because my mother, she made me go. And I'm in church, I'm watching these people jump around and holler, Jesus. And the music was fly, you understand? But I didn't understand it. I was confused. You understand? And the further you go back with my people, we were given the Bible. Really, that was the only book that a foundational Black American could read during slavery, because they, you know what I'm saying, it was against the law to read. So they gave you this religion to make you psychologically be able to cope with your reality easier by saying love your enemy. It's getting deep in here. RH, I see you, man. Y'all always keep me some pepperoni on my pizza. Yo, put some pepperoni on there. But I like for the pepperoni to be cooked with the pizza when he put it in there the first time. Don't have no cooked slice already, and then you gonna heat my slice up and put pepperoni on top after the slice been cooked. Nah. Cook my pepperoni when you put the first batch of cheese on there. Yo, Sal, put some cheese on that motherfucker, man. How do you instill these characteristics into Little Sean? Little Sean lives with me. He watches me. I'm his leader. I'm his idol. If you got a son, those men out there that have a son that spend time with their son and are in their son's lives know that the father is the idol. The father is the son's idol. Father is the son's idol before anything. Yeah, it's a bunch of good pizza places over here. So y'all never got back with me, man. The dude that was talking the junk about the chitlins and the pork told me to talk about the nutritional value. I went through the whole thing and I asked y'all who got the best genetic, who got better genetics than the foundational Black slave nigga from America. Who is a better athlete than him? Who? RA said put some cheese on. Hey, yo, Sal, put some cheese on that motherfucker, man.
Life is like a movie and we in it and we in it. We on Major League and we did it and we Pursue your dreams, that's how you do it.
Yeah. So who? Y'all didn't Middle Easterners got are better athletes than foundational Black Americans? Who is a better athlete on the planet? And it's only about 30 or 40 million of us. It's 2 billion Africans in Africa, 2 billion people in China, and can't name one of them beat us doing nothing with no ball. Who can sing better than us? Who can dance better than us? Who can cook better than us? Who? South Asians? We the most disrespected. RH, nobody better than the foundation. There you go. Check them out, y'all. Yeah. Show 'em what's up.
Stigmatism, man, what's up? Do anything.
Okay. What is it, man?
Stigmatism in my soul.
RH, thank you for that super chat, man. Who? The foundational Black American is the most despised, distrusted, disrespected, hated, looked down upon. Even other blacks from other part of the world, everybody, all 8 billion people look down on him. But deep down, inwardly in their soul, and in their closest, and in their quiet moments in their life, when they really get real with themselves after they stop being fake, they have to say, man, I got to admire this guy, man. Look at what he can do under perpetual repression. Look at what he could do. Imagine if he had wings. Imagine if he was unfettered and was just allowed to flap his wings, what he could do. Jamaicans never that. Nope. He ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't got no country. He ain't got nothing, man. This man ain't got nothing. He got no country. He got no flag. He got no government. He got no central bank. He got no currency. He got no military. Every other ethnicity, race on the planet, even a little small country like Panama, you know, or Nicaragua, got their own sovereign land, their own government, their own leader, own currency. This man ain't got nothing, no protection from nobody but God. So what that make him?
Life is like a movie and we in it and we in it. We on major league and we did it and we did it. It's all about that action, keep it moving, keep it moving. Pursue your dreams, that's how you do it.
Can't nobody do it. Everybody, all the people around the world, look at who we produce, man. Muhammad Ali, Michael Jackson. Look at who we produce. Look at who we produce. I mean, global people, man. Global. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. Caribbean Smokey Island track. All right, so let's talk about that. You know how many niggas in jail, man? You know how many foundational black Americans in the United States federal prison system? About, I think there's about 200,000 inmates in the federal prison system. And then there's a couple million in each respective state prison system. Do you know how many goddamn basketball players are in prison that'll make Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan look like a little boy, man? Or, come out would be major track stars, man? You know how many foundational black American girls got pregnant in the ninth grade that were track stars, man, that was Smoke, Sha'Carri Richardson, and any of them other girls, man? Bunch of dudes just from circumstance or bad choices and bad decisions, and same with the girls, their lives took them in a different direction, but they could have been, and the same holds true for other people of other cultures and other races. I'm sure there's some tennis players. What's my man Novak Djokovic? Where's Novak Djokovic from? He's from Serbia, right? The tennis player number one in the world. I'm sure there's some dudes in Serbia that maybe had to go to work and didn't get to play tennis or got in trouble that probably would smoke him. A lot of athletes that were better than Michael Jordan, better than Kobe Bryant, better than Hank Aaron, better than all these football, but something happened in their life that took them in a different direction. For Europe, best athletes are Russian. For Asia, it might be Pacific Islands. Yeah, the Russians get busy on the athletic tip. I have Haitian roots and agree. All blacks around the world follow FBA's real talk. We the trendsetters. We the trendsetters of the world. And it's crazy, you know. JM helped liberate Africa, never returned though. Jamaica helped liberate the entire continent of Africa. I've never read that before. A lot of dudes with the best boxing game. Shakari Richards is Black American. Yep. NBA All Star going in every hood, USA. Yeah. So, what spawned this diatribe for me was, one of the staples of our diets was pork. When you go back, the further you go back, before foundational Black Americans came up north, before we came to Chicago, before they went out west to California, before the Great Migration when they came up to Baltimore, D.C., Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Cleveland, Detroit, when the majority of the foundational Black Americans were in the South, the staple food that they ate was the pig. And the pig is eaten all over the world. China eats a lot of pork. China eats a lot of pork. A lot of countries eat a lot of pork. But it's all these um, fairy tales about it, you know? A lot of these dudes don't eat pork, but they fat and on medication. What is that? What is that? What is that? Well, that's what you said. Obviously not. That's what you said. You said it liberated Africa. So I'm gonna hold you to what you said. I know it wasn't the whole thing. Right. Foundational Black Americans are definitely the trendsetters, the classic icons, and even the legendary dons. Ain't no doubt about that, but it's definitely not down to your pork intake because it's just. I didn't say that is the reason why, but that's a part of our diet. We've been eating pork since we got here, man. So for people to be coming out their mouth saying, "Oh, pork ain't no good for you, man," oh, I don't eat no pork, but niggas be eating it on the sly. They go home late at night. They be at the barbershop or standing in front of the store, in front of the corner store, talking about they don't eat pork. You understand? But they go home and they live with their mother. They say, "Hey, yo, mom, make me a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich." And it be a little secret between him and his mother. Fuck out of here. I'm not saying that's the reason why, but it's a part of our diet, man. So don't come at me with, "Oh, it's bad for you, this and that." Pork, you look at a pack of pork chops, pork, no sugar, no carbs, all protein, crazy amounts of protein, crazy, crazy amounts of protein. Hold on a second, y'all. Yeah. Sean, what's up?
Stigmatism, man, what's up? Do anything.
And from a morality perspective, I've met some of the most morally upright people. Um, they probably weren't like that their whole life because we all have to go through, in order to become good, in order to become moral, in a lot of cases, not all, you had to have one point in your life been amoral, right? You had the one point to be bad in order to be good. You know, like me, right now, I'm a good person. I'm a very, very good person. I'm a decent man. But there was a point in my life when I was a piece of shit, right? So I had to be one before I could be the other, before I would know how to be the other. And I met some really, really good people from a morality perspective that followed that diet. So that's enough. I ain't gonna say nothing else on that, man. RH, what's up, man? Thank you for the super chat, man. Shout out to my nigga RH, man. He be showing love. RH be killing y'all. He be coming in here dropping $50 goddamn super chats, $100 super chats. I don't know anything about Dr. Sabi other than I've seen a few videos on him. I never studied him. I don't have a particular take on him. I'm not a follower. If you new to this channel, let me tell you right off the bat, I'm not a follower. I live my own life. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on my Instagram, man. Y'all follow me on my Instagram? Here go my Instagram right here. And if you want to join the channel membership, man. The channel membership is right up here at the top, man. At the top of the live chat. Go up there and join the channel membership. It's $10. Stop being cheap. What else? No more questions? When I start talking about race, y'all niggas get scared. All my Latino, all my Asian, all my white subscribers, all my black subscribers, when you talk about race, you've been conditioned by the media to get afraid. Freeze! Don't Don't talk about that. Right. They don't want you to talk about that because they want you to keep it a secret, and secrets keep you sick. What we need to be dialoguing about on a continual basis is the differences. Man, shout out to my nigga, goddamn, the best genetics bred to be the most game. Foundational blacks are my favorite people of in the world. All they do is win. I gotta be where champions are at.
Life is like a movie and we in it and we in it. We on Major League and we did it and we did it. It's all about that action, keep it moving, keep it moving. Pursue your dreams, that's how you do it. Yeah. Life is like a movie and we in it and we in it.
RH, thank you for the super chat, man. Turkey and chicken only for me. I only eat red meat during the winter for that vitamin D and iron. Yeah, I eat a lot of I eat a lot of chicken. I eat a lot of turkey. I eat a lot of beef. I eat a lot of pork. I eat it all. I eat it all. But I train hard too. I know how to eat to make my body look a certain way. Liam Keeson, burpees on my doctor. You follow the pork eaters. You follow the fake profile dudes, man. Pop Lit. Look at his name. Talk about the Jews. Why? For what? What do I want to talk about them for? For what? Let's talk about your fake profile. Why you hiding behind a fake profile? What's your real name? Put your real name up there. I've been on here an hour already, man. I've been on here an hour already, man. Y'all gotta follow me on my Instagram, man. Let me show y'all what I just posted on my Instagram. What's up, man? What's going on with you? Listen, man. Don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle happens. Don't quit 5 minutes before the miracle happens. You know how many people, man, was working on something quick blowing, so I want to blow my camera up. You know how many people was working on something, man, and they had put all this time, energy, and effort into it. Follow my Instagram, y'all. Jeff Jackson, thank you for that super chat, man. I don't know nothing about critical race theory. I never looked it up. Yo, Jeff, what's up, man? You got anything you want me to talk about, Jeff? You got a topic you want me to touch on? Thank you for that super chat. Appreciate you too, man. Thank you, man. I never looked at critical race theory. I don't look at none of that stuff, man. I'm not interested in none of this stuff. I just hope that to me, in my opinion, this country has gotten way off track, man. Way off track. And I don't even think it's just because I'm older, because sometimes as you get older, you're more resistant to change. And I think that's that's in everybody. That's in all 8 billion people around the planet. The older you get, the more resistant you become to change. But I just see these changes that they making, man. It's just, to me, it just goes against everything that I'm about, man. That it's just, just America, man. It just ain't the same no more, man. This country ain't what it used to be, man. Ja Morant for the young dudes. Yeah, he's crying out to be suspended from the league. He's begging them, please suspend me. Uh-oh. The fake profile boy got popped in the head. Fake profile boy got popped in the head with the wrench. Oh. Fake profile boy got popped in the head with the wrench. Yeah, he's I don't know what his deal is, man. Just I don't know what's going on with him. Trying to be somebody he's not, got the wrong people hanging around him, not have the prop, not have don't have the right person, man or men around him to tell him no, to tell him he's doing wrong. Mark Dougherty. There were also black slave owners in America, which is never touched on in the history books. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, there were foundational black Americans that owned other foundational black Americans as slaves. Also, there is a narrative that a lot of the foundational black Americans were here with the Native Americans when Columbus arrived. I don't know, there may be some truth to that, but the other narrative that's never talked upon, uh, usually what you hear from foundational black Americans is what the white man did to them, did to us. Oh, he came over and enslaved us. He came to Africa and took us here in chains. Yeah, but it was other blacks, Africans. It was warring tribes in Africa, warring countries, warring regions in Africa. And when the stronger dominated the weaker, they captured them. And for money, they sold them to the Arabs. They sold blacks to the Portuguese, sold them to the Spanish, sold them to the Dutch, sold them all over the world. But see, niggas don't like to talk about that part because that part requires you to take blame. See, and it's easier to be an underperformer. It's easier to accept that you're just a mediocre performer at best, and you can lean on the white man part, what he did. That's why my life ain't what it is. But they don't never go back and say, well, what about the niggas that captured other niggas and sold them around the world? They don't want to talk about that part.
Life is like a movie and we in it and we in it. We on major league and we did it and we did it. It's all about that action, keep it moving, keep it moving. Pursue your dreams, that's how you do it. Yeah.
Because if you want to make change in your life, you gotta blame yourself. The only way I was able to change for the better, the only way, the best way for me that has allowed me to change and to be a better man was I had to blame myself for what was happening to me in my life. I had to reconcile in my mind that for me to be blaming a woman, a man, or a city, a state, a government, a country, a place, a bird, a cat, a wolf for what was going on in my personal life was weakness. That I was a man amongst men. I had to become a man amongst men, and I had a right to my life, and that I had to go out and conquer nature and make nature bend to my will. But see, it's easy to blame somebody. Easy to do that. Easy to do that. MV said Georgia gonna be still alive. I see you, man. It had to be more psychological than physical. Ain't no way they invaded Africa and took slaves by force without the help. Absolutely. No foreigner's gonna come. Yeah, they would just run away. Why do you think our people as a whole are quick to blame someone else for our everyday choices? Our people, who you mean our people? What you got, Brother Green? Like what nationality are you? You say our people. I only want to take extreme ownership for my life from now on. Self accountability all the time from now on. That's the only way. That's the only way I was able to change. When I got clean from drugs at 21 years old, as long as I kept blaming everybody and everything and the way I was raised and my mother and my father, that situation and the childhood trauma and all of that, as long as I kept blaming that and Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher and slavery and white man and this, as long as I stayed there, I stayed in Harlem. I stayed in them ghettos in Atlanta, getting high, destroying my life. But the day I woke up and said, yo, Sean, man, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? You doing this to you, man. Ain't nobody doing this to you. You making these choices. You black. What you mean you black? Black is not a race. What do you mean? You black how? You got 54 different countries in Africa with blacks in them. You got black people all over. What kind of black are you? Where you from? What's your nationality? What's your heritage? What's your culture? What country do you go back to? But the moment I started blaming myself, I got better. I got better instantly. It's an instant change, man. Did y'all follow my Instagram or what, man? I'm gonna put my Instagram up there one more time, man. Sean, the fact that you went out and got 2 degrees after getting addicted on cocaine and alcohol was crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I was getting high as a kite, man. I used to smoke weed every day. Bro, Alabama, okay. Foundational Black America. Uh, Cause they weak, man. A weak man does that. A weak man does that. No strong man sees another man better than him. He doesn't see that. He sees another man as an equal or an inferior. And even if he sees a man that perhaps may be superior, he still should have it within him to say, I'm still going to make it. Nothing is going to stop me. Nothing. That's the way it should be. Shout out to Alabama, man. Only strong minded people don't get addicted. That's not true. That's not true. Anybody can be susceptible to becoming an alcoholic or a drug addict or a gambler or addicted to porn, addicted to toxic relationships, addicted to being mistreated. Yeah. But you're right. I would say you're right in the sense that strong-minded person has a smaller chance. I would say that. Yeah. I don't blame nobody for my life no more, man. I'm 54 years old. How the hell? Who can I blame now? Who can I blame? I can't blame nobody, man. I can't blame nobody for what's going on with me, man. Almost at 100K subs. Been watching you since 2019. Appreciate you, Victoria. Mark, one must fall before one learns to fly. Yeah. We all got these stories, man. Listen, man, we be walking around and we've allowed ourselves to be conditioned by the way we were raised, things we were taught as we were growing up about different people and different cultures and different races of people and different colors of people. Our minds have been shaped by the media, but you have no idea, and neither do I, that the people that we come in contact with every day at the grocery store, at the drugstore, at the gas station, at school or at work or in the street or walking in the mall, man, everybody is dealing with some serious issues impacting their life. Nobody out here is walking around problem free, situation free. I don't care what kind of image they show you. That's just not how life works. You know, life beats everybody up. Everybody gets beat up by life. Everybody. The way I get beat up is different from the way she get beat up. The way she get beat up is different from the way she get beat up. She getting beat up in a different way than my man over there. But that being said, you got to master it. You got to master it. And nobody cares. Challenges are promised. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And nor should they. Let's get out of that mind frame because I used to be stuck there thinking, oh, I'm going through this. Everybody's supposed to care and run to my aid and comfort me and console me. I had an innate, like, expectancy that was supposed to, I expected that. Wrong. Don't nobody owe me nothing to console me. They got their own stuff they're going through. They need to console themselves. What y'all up to, man? Y'all done got quiet on me? All right, if y'all got quiet, man, I'm gonna take on off. What drives you when no one can see your vision or your purpose? The fact that I can see it. The fact that I can see it. Man. I ain't driven by none of y'all, man. I ain't. I ain't. I made an oath to myself when I was in prison, man. I made an oath. I was the only one there, and I made an oath that I was gonna change and that I was gonna make a comeback better than what I was the first time. I didn't need nobody to sign no agreement. I didn't need to get in front of nobody and raise my hand and, you know, none of that. Do you swear to tell? I didn't need nobody to be there. I was there. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. Dr. Khalid Muhammad, what about him? I met him. He used to come to Morris Brown when I was in Atlanta. He used to come to our school in the 80s. I don't need nobody to see my vision. Nobody but me. That's it. My opinion on him. Do you charge for collabs or it depends on how big your channel have to be? If you want to collab with me, send me an email. We'll see if we can put something together. And yes, I charge. Can you talk about the Theanos? I don't know nothing about that. My opinion on Colin Muhammad, I haven't thought about him in a while. I mean, you know, he did his thing. He was down with Public Enemy. That's him on Nation of Million to Hold Us Back, Night of the Living Bassheads. You know, once you were brought here, we were robbed of our language, robbed of our name. We lost our religion. You know, I got no particular opinion on him one way or the other. You know, a lot of them, lot of them black brothers, man. You know, some of them, you know, I understand where they be coming from, but a lot of them, see, I can't, in all good conscience, um, adopt that level of hate for white people that they be having. Like Khalid Muhammad, like he really hated white folks. You know what I'm saying? Hated them. I couldn't. I was listening to him. I heard him. I understood where he was coming from, but I couldn't, in my own life, adopt that kind of hate for white people because I grew up with white people that were good to me, that treated me all right. You know, so I can't get on that bandwagon that all white people ain't no good. I can't do it. Not me, because that ain't been my life. You know what I'm saying? Some foundational black Americans then did some foul shit to me too. White people too, Spanish, everybody, all different nationalities have done bad things, and all different nationalities have done good for me too. Is that not the same as you? You said you hold grudges. Yeah, I hold grudges. Yeah, I hold grudges. What, I'm supposed to hold a grudge against the white man for what he did to my people? That's not productive. That's not productive. But I also said that I'm able to move on. You heard me say that too. I'm able to move on. This is just who I am. I hold grudges. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very sensitive man. And when you cross me, I don't never forget that. You understand? I don't never forget that. But, I didn't go through slavery. Neither did you. I didn't go through slavery. I didn't pick cotton. I didn't plow mules. I didn't spend my entire life. I wasn't born in 1831 and then for 80 years I just worked on a plantation. That wasn't my story. Yeah, my people, that is our story, but it wasn't mine. my story has been nothing but one of opportunity. That's all. I didn't have that, right? All I've had, I was born in 69. All I had was opportunity that my people didn't have. And for a long time, I didn't take advantage of it. Lawrence Thomas, thank you for that super chat. So, like young dudes baffle me. Young black American, foundational black Americans baffle me when they perpetually bringing up what was happening in slavery. And nigga, you got all the opportunity in the world. You just lazy. You just weak. You just an underperformer. You make mediocre choices and you don't take no risks. So you can't grow like what you see other people around you grow. You can't. So your excuse is that you blame what happened to your great great grandfather in Texas, in Oklahoma, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, as why you can't achieve today. Fuck out of here. My opinion, slavery still exists, just not with the chain. Listen, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. Slavery does not exist. If you are trying to equate 2023, where we are tonight, to 1723, you fucked up. If you trying to equate, you say slavery still exists. Today, 2023 to 1623 or 1723, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. You're talking about a time when there was no opportunity whatsoever, unless you just was willing, unless you just chose death. To today, where there's opportunity everywhere. Come on, man. Stop that, man. Stop that. What is prison? Prison, what is prison? Most niggas in prison put themselves, I put myself in prison. Every time I went to jail, it was my fault. What are you saying? I broke the law. I sold drugs. I went to jail. I broke the white collar tax law. I was filing bad tax returns to help people get more money. That was my fault. What are you saying? Police brutality, prison, KKK, undercover racism, showing you can. Right, but people put themselves in prison, man. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? School, do you got an end goal for your platform? Is it certain things you want to accomplish? That's a good question. Rod D, what up? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of sometimes I get um tired of doing YouTube. Sometimes but I use it more now just for like a marketing vehicle. I just want to stay relevant in case something comes up. Like I'm getting ready to put out an album. It's gonna be called Soul Speak. It's gonna be me speaking over some beats, and I'm gonna use my platform to market it. I figure like I built this platform, I might as well keep it. The channel like this one on YouTube. What are y'all saying, man? Prison is slavery. What are you saying? Most of the niggas that I was in the feds with, when most of them, man, I did this. I did this to get myself here. These dudes that's innocent in prison going through slavery, the Central Park Five gens. Man, come on, man. Get out of here with the bullshit, man. You talking about some incidences, man. Yeah, that stuff is real, but you trying to encapsulate the whole totality. That's weak to me, man. Your argument is weak. I went to prison because I made mistakes. Most of the niggas I was in there was like, yo, man, I did this to myself, man. And when I get out, I'm not doing what I was doing. I was in the street. I was carrying a gun. I shot people. I sold. I did all of this. And they get out and they don't go back. So I don't know what y'all saying, man. That shit is weak. Your argument is weak, man. Y'all better get out of that mindset. Nobody holding me back but me. I'm not talking about owning what did to get in prison. I'm talking about the system entirety. You're confusing. Yeah, but what do you but all right, man. It's your opinion. Your opinion. I stated my position. I stated my position. This younger generation, y'all just lazy and weak, man. Y'all not willing to work. Y'all not, you know what I'm saying? You wasting a lot of time with hate and anger. You could be using that energy to be more creative and create you something. I'm confusing the narrative. You ever been out of the country? Shice Moolah or John Pete, you ever been out of the country? You ever been to Africa? You ever been to South America? You ever been to the Caribbean? Talking to both of y'all. Where you been? Put all the countries where you been. Shice Moolah, you too. Where you been? You been out of the country? You got a passport? Yes, I renew my passport. Where name put all the countries where you been? I got my coffee for them. I've been on here for almost 2 hours, man. Bahamas, Hawaii, Paris, and Spain. USA, Jamaica, and Canada. All right. Hawaii, Paris. So Hawaii is not out of the country. That's a part of America, but I understand what you're saying. Paris and Spain. Why did you go to Paris and Spain? You've been to France, right? You've been to France. Right. He meant France. And he meant Hawaii being off the mainland. Trinidad. Okay. Well, let me tell you this, man. Let me tell you this. You might have saw this in Trinidad. You might have saw this in all the countries. Where'd you go in Egypt? Where in Africa? So if you guys have been to these places, you say you've been to these countries, then why didn't you go if these countries were better than here, why didn't you pack up, come back here, pack up all your stuff and go to those countries and live? If there was one better. Answer that now. I know what you're saying about Hawaii. You went to Shai Smoothie, you went to Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Bahamas, Egypt, and Africa. What other countries in Africa? Why didn't you come back? If those countries were so good, why didn't you come back, pack your stuff up, and move back to one of them? And then John Pete, why didn't you move back to Trinidad, Bahamas, Paris, or Spain, France or Spain? Why did you come back here? That has nothing to do with it. Okay. Okay. Yes, it does. The reason why you didn't go is because you know this is the best house on the block, even given all of its what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? All of its problems and all of its issues. There's no other place on the planet like this. That was the no, I'm not changing the topic. I'm not changing the topic. I'm not changing the topic. Y'all are trying to put the narrative down that, you know, the white man in America has it all messed up for all foundational black Americans in America. That's the really the underlying tone what y'all talking about. You understand? And that we are where we are as a people because of slavery and the white power structure. And there is some truth to that. There is some truth to the white power structure piece. But even given all of that, even given slavery, even given the white power structure that has not been friendly to foundational black Americans, we still should, as a people, be way further along than where we are in and of our own work ethic, right? We control about $1.8 trillion every 12 months flows through about $1.8 trillion flows through the black community in America in a year, and we don't make a tube of toothpaste. We don't make tampons for our women. We don't make diapers or pacifiers for our foundational black American children. We don't make drawers and bras and panties for our black American women. Huh? We don't do none of that. We don't do none of that. We don't make manufacture and make Kotex for our women. Nothing. And we have almost $2 trillion flows through our community in a year. We don't bank with black banks. We don't do none of that. And that's our fault. That's our fault. You can talk all that other fly talk all you want. But y'all will go buy Balenciaga sneakers. Y'all will go buy polo hoodies and polo jeans. You'll buy Rolex watches. You'll buy Audis and BMWs. You'll buy Jordan sneakers for $200 and $300. You'll do all of that. Talking about my people. But you won't make a tampon for all the black women, foundational black American women in the country, and say, here, y'all, we got a tampon for us. This is made by us. Or we got some toilet paper. Well, I got a brother who got some toilet paper. So come on, man. That was a different era. Black Wall Street, when did that take place? You talking about now, man. You living in the past, man. You making excuses, man. Making excuses, man. And then we don't, I mean, if it really come down to it, if you feel that way, then leave. Then leave. Let's all pack up and go somewhere else. Let's all pack us. If foundational Black Americans, if we so unhappy here, if we so mistreated here, let's all get together, pack up our stuff, and move somewhere else on the planet. If you're not willing to do that, then shut the fuck up. If I'm so unhappy with my situation, I should pack up and leave. If not, I should shut the fuck up and do the best with what I got, with where I stand. Leonard Struthers, while incarcerated, did any other inmate leave a long-lasting impact, impression on you? Yeah, it was a few dudes, man, impacted me in a big way, man. Few dudes, man. And I'm in contact with one of them. I stay in contact with one of them. You know, I met some really fascinating dudes in there, man. You know, some of the smartest men I've ever met in the world. I met in federal prison. You know, even through my college years. What else going on here? Talk to me. Did y'all follow me on my Instagram or what, man? Y'all make sure y'all follow me on my Instagram, man. I see it with my own now. The minute a minority speaks of strength, his own people will look at him like he's crazy. A lot of people are broken down, man. A lot of people are, you know, what's happened psychologically to the world, and this is the world over. Suicides are up, depression is up, drug overdoses is up, and all of these things have spiked as a result of the lockdowns, man. When they locked this whole world down with the jointski joint, it 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 affected a lot of people mentally, man, all over the world. You know, it demoralized a lot of people, man. Wow, I've been on here 2 hours, man. That flew by, man. It flew by, man. It flew by. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on my Instagram, man. Oh man, I'm getting sleepy now. Now that's my stance. What's your stance? What's your stance? I got my coffee for tomorrow. Khalil, thank you, man. Best channel on YouTube, man. Yeah. Sean, what's up?
Astigmatism, man, what's up? Do anything.
Do anything. Do anything.
Okay. What is it, man?
Astigmatism in my soul.
That's what I tell Sean, man. You could do anything, man. Do anything. Do anything, man. You're supposed to let nobody stop you, man. You're supposed to let nobody stop you, man. Y'all ready to get off of here or what, man? Y'all ain't talking about nothing else, man. Oh, man. What time is it? Oh, man, it's almost 11 o'clock, man. Let me get up out of here, man. Let me get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Appreciate y'all for coming through. I'm finna go get in this bed. If anybody wants to get with me on a one-on-one mentorship, send me an email at thepodcastwithsoul@gmail.com. If you want to promote or collab with me on YouTube, send me an email at thepodcastwithsoul@gmail.com. Go on my website, get a hoodie or something. Support the platform. All right, thank you, Corona. What's up, man? I think it's the lack of belief in higher power, not necessarily God, as in the. It's a lack of belief in self. A lot of people don't believe in themselves, man. That's why they feel hopeless. They don't think they could do it. They don't think they could do it. So it's easy to blame somebody else. It's easy to blame somebody else. RA said he gonna call for the mentorship, man.
Life is like a movie and we in it and we in it.
RH, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for all your super chats tonight, man. You know, always love, man. I always appreciate you, man. Yeah, a lot of people don't believe in themselves, man. Lack of self-doubt. Self-doubt, it runs so deep that you can actually be in denial about it. And you'll turn your self-doubt will turn into hatred for other people because you really hate yourself, because you doubt yourself. Shout out to John P. too, man. Yeah. Check a little Sean. I do anything. Check out what he say. What I teach him.
Do anything.
Do anything, man. I've been telling him that from the word say go. John Pete, I appreciate your support too, man. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here, man. I got to get me some sleep. Unless y'all want to talk about something else, I'll stay on here, man. We're all unstoppable. Look at Sean overcome. It's hard to look in the mirror and accept you, the reason you a bum. Been there, done that. Yep, Khalil. That's the move right there. Check out what Khalil put. It's hard to look in the mirror and accept you, the reason you a bum. Been there, done that. It's hard to look in the mirror and blame yourself and say, yo, I'm a drug addict, man. Or I'm an alcoholic, man. I'm lazy. I'm addicted to porn. I'm addicted to video games. I'm addicted to social media. It's hard to look and to say, man, I'm really afraid to fail. I'm afraid. It's hard to look in the mirror and say, man, I don't believe I can do it. What I see other people do, it looks too hard. It's hard to say that, but that's what needs to be said. Noah, what's up, man? That's what needs to be. That's the conversation that needs to be had. You got to look in the mirror and say, man, I just ain't doing as good as I could. That's why I keep failing. That's why I keep losing. That's why I'm not winning. Yeah, man. You see it. Connecticut in the building. I see you, Connecticut. I see you. I'm sleepy, man. All right, y'all. Let me get up out of here, man. I'm finna. Oh, man. Oh, man. This was a good live, man. This was a good live. This was a good live, man. Eddie Kane, what's up, man? You still in here? Pittsburgh still in the building? Shout out to everybody, man, that support the platform, man. All right, y'all. Let me go get me some sleep, man. I'm tired. I gotta wash this. I gotta wash my bullet. Um, ain't no question, man. Ain't no question, man. I got some big plans coming up, man. My mother's estate's been settled. All of the property's been sold. So me and Sean gonna get our third of what was left. So I'm gonna take that money, pay off some debts, and then I'm gonna invest that money. Um, I'm gonna really flip that money. Take that money and flip it, man. A couple times. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here, man. Holla at y'all later.